Welcome back to the R6 Masterclass. Today I'm going to teach you every single spawn peak on Outback so you can abort the enemy team faster than an Alt F4. Let's get right into it. We're going to start off with Garage and work our way through the map. These are the ones that are worth doing, and any ones that I don't cover are not necessarily worth it or essential or have success rate, i.e. this door here. A lot of people like spawn peeking this door, and yeah, that's fine, but it's so overdone that it's kind of suicidal. They can, at a certain point, appear on this side, but for the most part, they can swing here and here. There's multiple points of where an enemy player can peek you and cause you problems, and running out of this door, although it may work, is not as effective as just leaving it alone. Now, what I mean by that is it's really pointless to spawn peek something that everyone else is always spawn peeking. Because unless you're playing like silvers, coppers, bronzes, that sort of thing, they're going to expect it. They probably will have a drone checking this door on the outside somewhere where you don't know or haven't heard it because they put it there right at the start of the round, and that's what makes it so pointless in a sense. One of my favorite spawn peeks to do is on this wall. Now, punching out just a couple of punch holes, you don't need 3, but this is just to give you an idea of where you can be. If you kind of line up with these two pillars, you can obviously do it more over here and more over here, but you kind of want these two posts to be aligned or really offset. Now, enemies will run from this point to this point and occasionally might stick their head round to check if someone's spawn peeking, but unless you're going to open up a giant big hole like this, it's so difficult to see. Like, it's almost impossible even with an ACOG. The only way you're really going to notice is like with Cali or something. Now, you need to be careful of people running out from fuel pumps to this lorry or around the corner. But for the most part, the people will cross here. You'll get a chance to try and pick some headshots. If they try and rappel up here to get to the bathroom, you'll have a decent chance at being a good doctor and stopping overpopulation of terrible siege players. Now, another favorite spawn peek of mine is over here on this window. Could knock out one of these two pieces. I prefer to have this corner piece. But this, with like these sorts of spawn peeks on the crouch, sometimes it's actually better to just do like a middle piece or the opposite side, because people will only check for this spot, come around, maybe even pre-fire it. You can also see when they are coming because you can see through this light here. And it's really hard on the other side. It depends on the graphics. The lower your graphics, the easier this is to see through. But on the other side, it's really difficult because of the angle that they're coming at. They really can't see that much of you, but you can see their legs and then have a chance to react faster. And also another indication that they're coming is that their camera will be shot. Now, this spawn peek is a one and done. Do not re-peek it. The same with this garage one. If you get one, just leave. Don't give them the opportunity to come back and get you. But this spawn peek here, there is potential if you instantly one-tap someone to then hold out wider for someone that's then coming out here and then fire and leave. That one has the potential for multiple. Now, there is the old timely sit on the corner of this window and shoot out of it. Not a fan of that, to be honest. Standing up, though, you can see their legs and shoot them as they come around the corner. But this is such a common spawn peek, like the garage door over there, that this one's probably not a good idea to do. Now, swinging out of this door may seem kind of stupid, especially if they come out on the garage side. But if they do, you can just swing out and shoot between these two and see out to the garage, especially if you've got a guy spawn peeking out to this direction on the garage wall. He can call if he hears people on that garage. He could open up, not necessarily the punch holes big enough to hear through, but he could just shoot open a little bit down there so he can hear sound and have the punch holes instead of just a big hole. And then you can combine that spawn peek with someone else to peek off of that. Now, the other way this works well is if they come out and swing off to that car. But again, when you're running out and exposing that much, it's too much risk for very little reward. The next spawn peek, kind of moving over to the middle of the map, I guess now, is outside of this door. Normally people spawn peek the door up here, and again, I'm not going to recommend that spawn peek because it's really stupid, but people can swing out at this point and can run past and sometimes even run all the way from that spawn to come to these stairs, which makes no sense considering you could have spawned closer. So most of the time you're looking for people over on this side, and this is one that you can hold from multiple heights. Have the whole door open, have a crouch hole in the door so when they're coming round they still see most of the door. And this can be effective and quite useful. So just punching. Is you can just sit on a crouch hole and they may see the top of the wood and completely forget that you're there. Now, spawn peek in the main entrance, I would not recommend this or any of these. The only time that you should be doing something here is if they are rappelling up there and it's a situation where you need to remove someone from the rappel or you have them distracted enough that you can run out. Now, like I said, spawn peek in this door, it's too much exposure. They can be up on the roof, they can come out at different points, and this is too much risk. The only time that it should be done is if it's like prepped door, you come out, shoot it, and then take people on the stairs later into the round. Now, another favorite spawn peek is this window. Now, you can have any one of these pieces of wood open to spawn peek off of if you're playing this site out there, but this is a very commonly checked spawn peek. If you're not playing this site, coming over here at the start of the round and maybe just putting in a punch hole here, a few punch holes there, maybe even opening up a bigger hole over here to cause a distraction. This goes back to like the old school bullet hole spawn peeks. If you just opened up loads of like little holes, there's a good chance that they don't know which one you're going to peek from. You may want to mix it up. And then there is this window in the bunks. You can peek off of this and hold it. You can even do it even rattier and hold it like this. This can really screw people over. And I've also seen people hold the window peek like this with even a shotgun sometimes, and it's really, really detrimental. But let me vault. Wonderful. People also can jump out of this window. There's some weird stuff going on with the vault. Now, the last spawn peek that I will mention, it's honorable mentions at this point, is over here, and it's the window in garage. Now, with standing on this table and different angles or boosts, you can pick the top of their head. But again, it's one of those spawn peeks that is quite high risk, as the time to react to someone's head when they're coming over this, if they're running straight over, is not a lot at all. Another thing that people also do here is they just sit on a crouch hole somewhere on this window and then shoot people as they come over. Now, for the final abortion of the day. Maybe one of the most used and still is very good, actually, is this window and this window in here. Depending on how you choose to do your abortions, this one is extremely useful, especially if they are coming up the stairs or over from the garage. They have to pretty much react at the same time as you do, as they're coming round the corner. They don't get to see this from anywhere until they're up here, unless that they've rappelled up and seen it from somewhere over there, or got you on a drone. This one's pretty good, especially if they are messing around on this window, or the window's out here and they decide to come this way, or if they're trying to cross from the garage side over. This can be a lot of fun. Now, people also do run out of this window to swing out, so there's normally claymores put on this window. Thank you for watching this Rainbow Six Siege Masterclass. I do apologize, there hasn't been many videos lately, as I am currently in the process of moving house. As always, there's links in the description to Fiverr if you would like one-on-one coaching. As always, have a great day. Bye-bye.